Alright, Ayo guys, what's going on? Welcome to the very first episode of Planet Podcast. Today we are joined here with LA42 Productions. Say hi.
Hello.
He is co-host number 1. Say hi, Rollyegg. He is co-host number 2.
Hello.
And we are joined by our very special guest for the very first episode, Catmanjoe. Say hi.
Shalom. How you
Okay.
doing?
Good enough. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing better than most, and even sometimes better than that.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. We will be
I'm glad to
asking
be
you a
here.
few questions. So yeah, let's get started. So how are you?
See, I see the issue now with that question. Good question. I really didn't expect that. I'm honest. I'm doing fantastic. Honestly, I'm doing very good. I'm feeling great. I'm in a very positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? I've just set up my dealer, so I'm feeling great as well. You know what I'm saying? So
What?
I'm great. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. You know what I'm saying?
Who's your dealer?
Alright, what inspired you to do YouTube? Well, what inspired you to do YouTube?
Drugs. Now, what inspired me to do YouTube? Personally, you mean like I'm guessing just person-wise? Do you mean just in general? Anything?
In general.
I don't know.
Okay.
Dragon wrote the script.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not true. You wrote half of it.
Wait, what?
Well, there you go. For me personally, I always kind of I always enjoyed entertaining people. As like when I was very young and whatnot, I always enjoyed seeing people laugh. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be my parents or friends or family members. And as I got older, I always wanted to be a comedian. Like as I grew up, obviously, into my early teens and whatnot, I always wanted to make people laugh and entertain people. Because I honestly do believe that there's nothing, more. There's nothing you can't put a price on happiness, and in general as well, you can't. You can't understand until you've done it, but obviously making people laugh is one of the best things that you can experience, honestly. It's a really awesome experience and really awesome thing. So for me, what inspired me to do YouTube was I saw that there was an ability and there was an option there, and there was a course there that I could take that would allow me to be able to entertain people but also teach people and inspire people hopefully as well. So that's what got me into it.
Next question.
I have a question. So, what? Okay, so Joe, when is the first time you ever played Minecraft? When's the first time you ever played it?
I first played Minecraft actually on the Xbox 360 console edition on day one of launch, which I believe was sometime in 2012. I actually personally never heard of it before that. A good friend of mine called Stuart, we were good friends. He actually had Minecraft Java Edition, and he explained how it was and what it was like, and it interested me, but I'd never played it myself. And then when it first came out for the 360, we played it on day one, and that's when I first started playing it. I loved it. I loved it.
What is your opinion on the new Minecraft ban system?
Good question. The new Minecraft ban system, I'm guessing you're referring to, of course. Are we talking about the newest version of it, which is the one where you get a 3-month suspension minimum at your first offence? I believe I don't know if it's a warning, but I believe it's your first offence is a 3-month suspension, and then your second, as far as I'm aware, is a permanent suspension or permanent ban from all versions of Minecraft that your account is linked to. I personally don't like it. I disagree with it heavily. I personally think that Minecraft shouldn't have any sort of ban system in place. And although it's a bit controversial, because of course this is more of a child's game. It's not a child's game by any means, but it's a lot more children play it, and obviously there's a lot more, there's a lot of opportunities for people that are sick or ill-minded to do terrible things. Although I do agree there should be some sort of system that prevents these people from messing with children or bothering children or doing things that are against the rules. I don't think there should be a ban system by any means, especially one that's as cruel and as bad as the current ban system is, which is, if you don't already fully know, well, I mean, Dragon, you've experienced it firsthand, of course. The ban system, when you get banned on PlayStation 4, at least, Bedrock Edition, and Nintendo Switch, and a few other Bedrock Editions, except from Xbox here, you lose access to being able to play with your friends online, being able to play realms, being able to play servers, being able to use any marketplace content, and even being able to use your worlds online, which is a real shame, of course. And if you're so unfortunate to play on Xbox and you get the permanent ban, then what will happen is you will lose access to even being able to play on your worlds. So it's a very severe thing, and I think personally they definitely need to reform it, and they definitely need to change a lot of the rules and a lot of the restrictions that they're trying to put in place with this, because I think it's something that negatively does affect the community, and it will to a degree stop creativity from being able to be spread as much as it is wanting to be.
Yeah, I completely agree with your point. I don't think there should have been a ban system put in.
I could not agree anymore.
It's a very flawed system. It's something that I don't think was ever really needed personally to be implemented. I feel like it's just another kind of, I guess, excuse for Microsoft to add in more security for themselves and try and, I guess, alienate a lot of the old players, because it's mostly the old players that complain about the game, to be honest. But in general, it's very sad that, you know, the factor is that you have to link all your Microsoft accounts together if you play, say, on PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC, Windows 10, obviously, of course, mobile or Nintendo Switch. So metaphorically speaking and hypothetically speaking, if you were to get banned, say, on your Xbox One, you know, a Minecraft account, and it was linked to all those other, you know, versions, you would again be banned on all those versions as well, which is a horrible thing. You'd be alienated from Minecraft entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide YouTube was what you wanted to do?
Well, again, we kind of, I would say we relatively answered that, but it's slightly different. But yeah, I guess it was more what inspired you to become a YouTuber. But what, so can you repeat the question just one more time? Just to fully...
So what actually, like, why did you decide YouTube was what you wanted to do? Like, why didn't you take up a different kind of thing like Twitch, like full-time, or let's say a regular job like a supermarket employee or something like that?
Well, for one, I feel like a regular job. I was brought up with my family ethics are that we don't work for bosses. A lot of my family and all my family are self-employed. They all are very successful businessmen or women, and they don't believe in working for the man, as they would say. But I don't discriminate, and neither do they. People that do work for bosses, I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. I was raised to look outside of the box and think outside of the box and be your own man and be your own boss. Because in general as well, you know, when you are your own boss, if you make a mistake or if the business isn't doing good or, you know, money isn't coming in at the right time or you're not earning enough, there's no one else who can be blamed for those kind of mistakes or those kind of issues other than yourself. And I think my family best represents that. They're quite hardworking people, and when they do enter a certain field, to, you know, whether it be, you know, anything from contracting, you know, to landscape gardening to you know, heavy, you know, mechanical work, whatever it may be, which my family all does, they all make it their dream. They make it their ambition to learn everything they can and master it and become the best in their field at it. So for me, to answer your question fully, for YouTube, I wanted, as I said, creative expression. I wanted to be able to express myself and be creative, but also be able to entertain and educate and inspire people and make them laugh and, you know, take away or help them, you know, I guess almost like forget about maybe their bad days or whatever it might be that they're experiencing. And I felt that, for instance, Twitch, although that was a good platform, I didn't have access to Twitch when I was younger, because Twitch wasn't really a thing when I was first starting out on YouTube, and I was introduced to YouTube first before Twitch. So by the time I heard about Twitch, YouTube was still my go-to because you could upload content to it, and you couldn't do that on Twitch, like videos. So yeah, that's why I chose YouTube over, for instance, Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a question as well. So, what do you think of Minecraft's Bedrock now from when it first ever came out for PS4? What do you think of it from now?
Well, a lot's changed. You know, when Bedrock Edition first released on PlayStation 4, I think there was a lot of over expectations. You know, everybody in general, I think, was kind of, I guess, overestimating what it could be and what it would do, and, you know, it having no issues and no bugs. When it released in, you know, December 10th, 2019, it was not by any means a stable game. It had a lot of issues, and some to this day are still prevalent and still exist and still are very annoying and do pain a lot of the community. Some, though, have been patched, thankfully, and some have been you know, removed. But my opinions have definitely changed. When I first tried Bedrock Edition on the PlayStation 4, when it first came out, I was heavily against it. I was probably one of the main people who was against the whole migration from Legacy Edition to Bedrock Edition, and I actually made it my ambition and my goal to stay with Legacy Edition and keep streaming it and keep being a part of it and keep making content on it until I was unable to do so. And then I would move to Bedrock, and then I did move to Bedrock, obviously, as you know, back in, I believe, December there. After a year of consistently, every single weekend, streaming the game on YouTube and streaming Legacy Edition, I was unable to do that anymore because of my PlayStation 4 account being permanently suspended and me losing the Legacy Edition in general and the world that I had on it. And luckily, thankfully, due to I actually a great friend of mine who knows how to use PlayStation 4 Save Wizard. I'm not sure if any of you know what that is, but he knew how it worked, and he knew how to use it basically. And it allowed me to switch my files over from one account to another account, which was incredible. So it allowed me to be able to actually, I guess, retrieve my Minecraft world that I lost. Which was incredible, but at the same expense, it meant that I would only be able to play it on Bedrock Edition. So I moved to Bedrock Edition, I tried it out, and Realms conveniently was just coming out, or had just came out, so it was pretty much the perfect time to try it out and actually, I guess, see how it goes. Thankfully, it went very well, and I really have enjoyed it, and it's been going very well ever since, and it's still relatively smooth, and it's definitely smoothened out, but things, I think there's still issues there.
Especially at the recent update what they just done, like they improved the frame rate massively. It was such more smoother Bedrock.
Yeah.
Yes. Alright, Dragon.
Alright.
Legacy.
Do you have any advice for any upcoming YouTubers?
I'd say probably the best advice I could give is try and find somewhere that isn't already populated. I think Minecraft, and it's a bit of a cruel thing to say, but it's the truth, Minecraft is, to this day, and it will continue to be very overpopulated. It's like games like Fortnite and whatnot. The game Minecraft it's a phenomenal game, and everybody loves it, and it's a really fun and creative game that allows you to be able to express yourself in multiple different ways. But the issue with Minecraft is that because it's so expressive, and because there's so many different avenues and things that you can do within it, it's very overinflated, and there's a lot of different content creators on it. I've said this before multiple times, and people can quote me on it, that if you can grow a YouTube channel successfully on Minecraft and then inside the Minecraft community, I believe, honestly, not only that you can grow a Minecraft channel, not Minecraft channel, but a YouTube channel of any sort in any community, whether it be vlogging, whether it be another game, whether it be tech tutorials, whatever it may be, because Minecraft is one of the most, if not the most, overinflated, I guess, community on YouTube, and or genre on YouTube, if you want to call it a genre. And to be able to grow a community within it and be able to stand out enough to be able to make yourself unique enough to get a name and be able to get a subscriber, I guess, base or foundation, it's incredibly difficult. But if you can pull that off and do it, I believe that 100% that you can definitely succeed in other places. But I'd recommend other new, smaller content creators to try and look for new games that are coming out or new games that are already out, like I'm talking within this past year, and try and make content on them. Try and make educational content that will teach people stuff. Because in general, most people, when they start YouTube up, they think that if I upload Let's Play videos or me just playing games with my friends or whatever, that's going to be successful. It's not how it works, sadly. The platform doesn't create originally back in 2010, 2011, 12, etc. Maybe even up till 2014. The platform used to credit a lot of content creators and used to promote a lot of content creators, who made content like that. But the entire platform has changed substantially since 2014. We're in 2021 now, and 7 years later, things have changed, and there's a whole different way the algorithm works. And mainly, as it has always been to a degree, but mainly now more than ever, the algorithm prefers to promote content creators that are making educational content or content that helps other people, as opposed to just entertaining people that already know them, for instance, like Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Alright, so considering that
Also,
question...
wait a second. Also, I'd like to make a point on that. I remember a long time ago, Joe, on your channel, I remember, I think it's when you started skin on Legacy, and you was actually, I used to still throw it in, on your channel, and so he actually told you to stop and actually learns from that. Because you actually are so right about that.
Self-promotion is something it's not an intelligent option. I think there's nothing wrong with self-promoting your own channel and your own channel. Like, for instance, say you have a vlog channel and you make gaming content. I don't think there's anything wrong with, in your videos or in your comment section, whatever, you promoting your own content there, or via the community tab, or YouTube stories or shorts or whatever it may be, whatever you choose to do. But I think if you're going to try and self-promote, that's okay. If you want to self-promote, you can self-promote on YouTube. You're not supposed to do it, but you can do it. And I'm not going to say that you should do it, but if you are going to do it, at least ask permission. I think it's always the responsible and mature thing to do is ask the owner of the channel permission for you to be able to self-promote your content. Because if you don't do that, what you're doing is you're going into their place that they've worked hard to build up, their foundation, their business, their community, and you are just going in there to promote your own content. Now, There's different, obviously, of course, times where that might be acceptable or that might be okay. For instance, if you are a member of that community and you've been a member of that community and you don't just participate and, start promoting yourself, you answer questions or help people out or actually, participate in what that community does, I don't see how there's an issue as long as the content creator, again, himself or herself are okay with you doing it. I don't see there being an issue with you promoting your content. But if you just came to that channel, which many people do when they're for instance, when you're streaming or stuff like that, a lot of people think that it's the best time to start promoting. It's really not, because it's the worst time. You can tell if it's a regular or not. And if they're not a regular and they come in for the first ever time saying, "Hey, come check out my channel," it comes across as nothing less than rudeness, because you just came here and I don't owe you nothing and you don't owe me anything, but you're coming in here to try and promote and take viewers away from my actual place, which is wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had quite a few people try and self-promote on my channel, and I'm pretty sure same goes for Ellie and Rolly here. Yeah. It is a very big problem, and it is kind of disrespectful when it is someone who's just came in for the first time.
It's very disrespectful. It's probably one of the most disrespectful things you can do. It's the equivalent, and I've used this kind of, I guess, analogy before. It's the equivalent of, say you own a business that sells televisions, okay? And there's another business that owns televisions across the road. It'd be the equivalent of the owner of that other business, okay, coming across to your shop or your store and saying, "Hey, everybody in the store," when everybody's in there and it's all packed in, "Excuse me, everybody, come check out my store. I have cheaper prices." That's rude and that's wrong. Not because it might not be true, but because you're taking business and people away from his business that he pulled in himself legitimately. That's how it works. So that's why it's so rude.
Yeah. So you might have seen in chat, but Ellie has asked me to read out the next question. So, when are PS4 servers coming?
Great question. Okay. Are you going to elaborate more on this? Because obviously, I'm sure some of your viewers or some of your friends won't understand exactly why you're saying this.
So there's like a long running joke that me and Joe have, where as every interview or podcast that we've done, I've always asked him when are PS4 servers coming, because it's just like, well, he's the man who knows everything, so he'll know when PS4 servers are coming, and yeah, it's just a long running joke that we have.
Obviously, PlayStation 4 servers, we already have them. I don't really have to give much context on that. They're already here. But yeah, I mean, I kind of miss that. Like, kind of relating to your question, although it's obviously a joke question. I honestly do sort of miss the comments, because I used to get them quite vividly, quite a lot, quite often on my live streams, pretty much every single live stream. I get somebody asking, when are PlayStation 4 servers coming out, or Realms, and it's something that, I got so frequently that now that I don't see, although I used to complain about it, and I still would complain about it if it was happening, that I, to some degree, sort of miss.
Ellie, are you back, or? He is not back, he's busy right now, so I will...
No, I am.
Oh, no.
Alright, so what are your opinions about servers and the unexpected arrival of Realms? Well, they've been in for about 4 or 5 months now, so, like, what were your opinions on them?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
So, like, what were your opinions with servers and the unexpected arrival of Realms when they came in back in December?
Great question. Realms and servers, when they both first came out, because both were very unexpected. I was working with a very close group of people that were, I would consider, excuse me, somebody's got a static in their mic, just letting you all know real quick, just in case. Just letting you know, sorry. But when they first came out, I was working with a very small team or group of YouTubers and content creators that were themselves very highly, like they were very highly a part of the community, Gaming Guides, MVX, Wild the Gamer, and many others as well, Beta Bedrock, etc. And I was working with those people, and when I was, for that matter, are you good? Sorry, I just...
Yeah, no, sorry.
The mic, sorry. So I just want to make sure, okay, not on the stroke or something. That's it's all good. But yeah, I was working with those people, and none of us knew that it was coming. We sort of expected servers would be here soon. We knew there was an update coming that day, but we didn't exactly know for sure servers would come. When they did drop rather unexpectedly, servers and Realms, I think personally, although it was a fantastic opportunity and moment, I definitely benefited from it heavily, from being a content creator that covered the news about servers and Realms coming for the previous year and a half. I definitely was let down. I was definitely let down, to say the least. The fact that the community got no warning, and not that we needed a warning as if it's something bad, but more of a heads up. We just got it dropped on us as a surprise, which some would say is good, but I'd say would be bad. I think it's better to start building hype about something beforehand, as opposed to just unexpectedly just dropping it on everybody and expecting them all to be very happy about it. So for me personally, I was a little bit let down that there was no build up to it. There was no, it's coming next week, coming next month. It just happened, and then Realms came so frequently right after it. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest, about it at the initial release. Although I was happy to see them and I was happy for the community, I personally was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah. What is your favourite thing to do in your spare time, if you have any?
I don't have spare time. I tell a lot of people this, and a lot of people I think they often, like I believe that was really their sniggering or something like that. A lot of people I feel like don't fully, I guess, comprehend that, or they think that can't be true, but it's not. It is true.
I can't speak. Oh, sakes. Oh, okay,
are your chromosomes okay? Are you okay right now? Are you sure?
Yeah.
In a moment, have you had a bath?
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm saying.
Rolly, just relax, breathe with us. Tell me, what are you trying to say?
And out.
Well, no, you don't say that like that. Come on now, that sounds a little bit.
Okay, no, hey,
come on now.
No, I was trying to say
sausage. I don't really know what to add to that. But to answer the question, I just say this to a lot of people, and I feel like they don't fully comprehend it. But I don't have the luxury of spare time. For me, my spare time is spent working on videos, and that's not spare time. That's me working. When I do have spare time, if I'm doing anything, it's working on videos. So I really don't know how to answer that question, other than there's not really much of an answer, except my spare time is spent working on videos, because almost 24/7 I'm always making content. I'm always planning out ideas for videos, writing scripts, and calls with people and discussing future collaborations or everything in between. It's a very constant kind of process. And it's always going. There's always something happening.
Mm-hmm. Will you ever decide to move fully from Legacy Edition to Bedrock?
Oh, God, tell me.
Well, I moved from Legacy Edition to Bedrock Edition, and I explained that already. Although I don't mind Bedrock now, and it's definitely improved since its first launch and release, and again back in December 10th, 2019. I still don't really prefer over Legacy. I prefer Legacy's smoothness and its stableness over Bedrock's unstableness and often unsecureness as well, because Bedrock is very unsecure. So as again I explained back in December of 2020, I'd say between Bedrock and Legacy, if Java wasn't in the conversation, I'd say undoubtedly Legacy is my preferred choice for Minecraft, and it is better for a few different reasons, and I can name those reasons. Bedrock's advantages are, and I think Dragon would agree here with this point, Bedrock does definitely hold some advantages with its new features. It has 1.15, which 1.15, which brought bees and also brought the actual honey blocks and whatnot, and of course it's got the 1.16 as well, which brought the Nether update and stuff like that, which are phenomenal things. And of course Netherite, a game-changing mechanic and a game-changing item, which is awesome. It has new features, but aside from that as well, it's got servers and it's got realms and crossplay being probably one of the biggest incentives for players to want to play it, along with the realms that are open 24/7 and of course servers. But you've got to understand that although these are again really awesome and useful things overall, although these are really awesome and useful things overall, Legacy still, in my opinion, for not for features, because obviously Bedrock and Legacy they're not comparable in features. Obviously Bedrock still gets updated and Legacy doesn't. Bedrock has got more features because of servers and realms and crossplay, especially crossplay probably being the winning factor in that one. But Legacy has more smoothness. It's a lot more smoother than Bedrock Edition, playing wise, and it's also got a more of a simplistic feel for Minecraft. It feels more simplistic and it's easier to use and comprehend and understand and learn. And additionally, on top of all that, I think as well, it's personally, in my opinion, got more of an original feel to Minecraft. You've got to understand that Bedrock and Java, for instance, the differences are Java is programmed in Java code. Bedrock is programmed, and so is Legacy in C++, which is obviously a code for, of course, writing, for games and whatnot. And because of those differences and whatnot, it's hard to really make something like Java on a console edition. You know, you can't. It's something that's written in Java code to make it a legacy, or to make it, excuse me, a C++ game. You're going to have some differences, but 4J Studio has done a phenomenal job, in my opinion, with how they basically ported over Java edition to legacy.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Sorry. Yeah, I gotta go now.
Do you watch your own videos?
I do, yeah. I believe it's very important. If you're a content creator, you've got to. If you can't watch your own content, then I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't expect anybody else to watch it. Before video releases, during the editing process, of course, I record it and whatnot and everything like that. But when I'm editing, of course, I rewatch dozens of times. And then, of course, before I even publish the video, I watch it. And then when I do publish the video, I even watch it as well, fully. It's like my podcast episodes for my podcast, and also for my channel and everything. I do rewatch the content that I create, because if I personally start feeling bored or tired while watching it, I don't want to make it, and I'll end up not making it, because I know that others will start feeling the same. So that's, I watch my own content.
Okay. Yeah, good answer.
Thank you.
I feel like that is something that everyone should do. So
I haven't watched my videos in like 4 months, and I'm not regretting anything, because I know what my videos sound like and look like, because I'm recording them and live streaming them, but I don't upload because I just live stream. Why am I going on about this? Sorry.
I think everybody is their own worst critics, and I think that's why it's so important to watch your own content. To be mindful that you're going to make mistakes and that you need to learn from them. But I think it's very important to look at yourself and look at your content and reflect on it and think, what can I improve upon here? And am I trying my hardest when I make this content? I think, I believe there's a quote by Les Brown, a motivational speaker, a phenomenal one at that. And it goes by something, I believe it's the line that, if your work is easy, your life will be hard. But if your work is hard, your life will be easy. And if you are making content, or it goes with anything, no matter what job you do, no matter what field you're in, no matter what it is you're doing in life, if whatever you're doing is easy, then your life will be hard. But if it is hard, then your life will be easy. That's the entire point behind it. And I believe there's another quote by another man, I don't know exactly who quoted this, but it's, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to find a new group. It's the same kind of concept.
Mm-hmm.
Always keep expanding, always keep growing.
Mm-hmm. So, next question. Do you have any plans for the future in case YouTube flops, as if you lose all your subscribers or you get permanently banned?
It's a great question. A lot of people ask me this before, and I always give them the same answer, and it's quite a bit of a bland answer, but I think it's very reliable, and I think it's something I stand by truly, and I think it's something that could stand by. It's another quote. A lot of them are, but it's another quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sure you know who Arnold is. But basically, it's if you have a plan B, you've already failed for plan A. So I don't like to think that YouTube's going to fail. I don't like to consider the possibility of that. I don't like to consider that one day this might not work out or something like that. Because if I start considering that and I start making plan Bs, I've already failed for plan A. So what I do is I go 110% in there with the belief and the knowledge and the knowing that I'm going to succeed. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll not succeed. That I know in every part, in every orifice, in every single part of my body, I know that I'm going to succeed at doing YouTube. It will take time, it'll take work, it'll take sacrifice, but I'll succeed. And the reason why is because of persistence and because of the fact that I know that I've got no plan B. If you have a plan B, you've already failed for plan A. And that's why I always strive to make sure that this is my number one thing. I'm not going to let anybody tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If YouTube does flop for you and you decide to take up a career other than this, would you give your channel away, or would you still keep it to occasionally upload?
Well, again, it's it's a multitude of questions come up from that one question. But again, like I've already said, I don't like to think in that sort of mindset that potentially it could fail or whatever, because I don't believe it could. And I think when you start thinking like that, you multiply what you think about. You bring it into you bring it into existence. If you're thinking negatively all the time, you'll be more negative, and it's the same idea. If you're thinking things are going to fail and not succeed, then don't be surprised when they start not succeeding, because you've got to have belief in yourself before anybody else will have belief in you. But the truth of it is, I don't know what I would do, and I wouldn't give away my channel by any means. If I was to, for some miraculous reason, I wouldn't say if YouTube failed, but if I was to quit YouTube, there's more of a possibility of that happening, which again, I would doubt I'd ever do, and I don't think I know I will never do. But if I was to, metaphorically speaking here, of course, hypothetically, if I was to again, quit YouTube, I wouldn't give my channel away. My channel would still be mine, and maybe it would be people that, you know, co-own it, that could make sure that everything's okay on it and that, you know, things are getting taken care of. There already is people that do that, that are friends of mine and one of close friends, just in case something ever bad was to happen or whatnot, God forbid it. But you know, I never would give it away. My channel's mine, mine's only. I don't believe in selling channels. I think a channel is built from the person who owns it, and when you sell a channel, you destroy what it is. So I don't think selling channels is by any means a smart idea, and I don't think letting anybody else run a channel or take over what it once was is good either. So I would never give my channel away, to answer your question fully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the next question is going to be asked by Dragon is, I really hope you say yes, or just ask a Dragon.
Hmm?
The next question.
Do you collab with YouTubers under 1,000 subscribers?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, not exactly. I collab with people that have under 1,000 subscribers, and I'm not against helping out smaller content creators. But the way I see it is that when I was starting up my channel on YouTube, I didn't get no handouts. Nobody came to me and said, "Hey man, I've got 50,000 subs, or 40,000, or 10,000, or even 1,000. I want to help you out. I want to make you successful. I want to help you reach your dreams. I want to be there and give you a leg up." Nobody done that for me. So when I grew and I started growing my channel, that was all self-made. I'd done that myself. You know what I'm saying? I had friends that were part of the process. I had other YouTubers that were helping me, but none of those guys were as big as I would become and what I am now, right now, currently still. But I still have a lot of love and respect for those people. Curious Hippo and multiple others, for that example. I believe that if you want to do something such as a collab with someone, you should put an effort for it. I think that I collab with people with under 100, or excuse me, I collab with people with under 1,000 subscribers occasionally, but normally if I do so, it's got to be they've got a very unique and creative and good idea that I think would be fun to do. I'm not talking about a video of me going on their world and looking at some random things. I'm not talking about me doing a silly let's play with them. I'm not talking about me doing an interview with them. It's got to be something that's genuinely unique and entertaining, and something that's out the box. Now, of course, Dragon, I did an interview with you when you were under 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, of course, for that example, but that's because obviously, you asked me many times, and I eventually agreed. But overall, I normally don't collaborate with people that are under 1,000 subscribers, and my reasoning for it is what I just explained. But also, I believe the factor is when I tell somebody who's got under 1,000 subscribers, I'm sorry, no, I'm not interested in this collaboration. Come back to me when you have 1,000. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm not going to waste your time. Come back to me when you reach 1,000 subscribers. Come back to me. Message me. Hit me up. Email me. Whatever it is. Message me and contact me, and we'll rearrange it, and we'll do it again. We'll make it happen. And they say, but why not now? I say, because what have you done? What can you contribute to this conversation? What can you promise me? What am I going to give you in this transaction? If I do a collaboration with you, I might not give you 100,000 subscribers, or 50,000, or 10,000, or even 100. I might not even give you 20. But it doesn't matter. It's a principle. It's a principle, though. If I'm collaborating with you, I'm investing my time, my effort, and my community I'm bringing into you. I'm helping you become a part of my community. So I would only expect that table to go both ways, and that pleasure and that privilege and that respect to go both ways. If you don't even have 1,000 subscribers, we can't collab with any normal basic idea, because of the factor that you've not got a community, you've not built up an audience. Now, I'm not saying you're not trying. I'm not saying that you're not working hard, because I'm sure you are. I know a lot of creators are. I'm not saying this obviously Alpha or just to you, of course, directly, but I'm saying this just overall to anybody. It's not because they aren't trying hard or aren't working hard, but if they want to collaborate with me and they want to work with a bigger content creator and they want to be in my videos and they want me to be in their videos, I would love to. I really will. I'll give anybody an opportunity. I 100% will. But you've got to show me that you put in some effort. If you're 1,000 subscribers, that tells me that you've had some commitment. You've worked hard. Whether it was lucky, I don't believe in luck. I think we make our own luck. But at the end of the day, whether it was luck, if you want to call it that, or whether it was your own, your own willpower, you've done something. You made some effort, and I respect that. And I'll give you the opportunity to collaborate. But if you can't reach that minimum threshold, which it might be difficult to reach at first, but you can reach it if you work hard enough. But if you can't put in the effort or time or patience or work to reach it, we don't deserve to collaborate. I've got no time to give. My time is very precious. That's how it works.
Hypothetically, if someone were to offer you maybe like £50 to shoot a 10-15 minute video that's going to be posted on both of your channels, would you take money off them? I'm not saying you would, but would you agree to that trade, or would you decline this?
Well, it'd most likely be going on their channel. I think to put something on my channel, that'd be almost like a paid sponsorship at that point. That's what that is. If it's something me collaborating with them for their channel, then of course I'd share the video, I'd promote it, whatever else. And yeah, I would do that, you know what I'm saying? And someone's going to say, but why is that? Well, that's because that's my business, you know what I'm saying? My job and what is my job and what is my business is YouTube, and you know, making sure I can pay bills and eat and sleep and everything else. And it's not a difference in moral code or anything like that, or a sacrifice in morals. It's a factor that, again, like I said already, and you all just heard me say it, my time is precious. I don't have the luxury of having spare time. So if I am going to spare time with you, it has to be for a good reason. And if you don't have a good reason, then you're going to have to make sure you got some money, because at the end of the day, that's the only way I can do it. That time that I'm wasting, if I'm not earning anything from it, if I'm not getting some sort of beneficial thing back from it, it's not all about getting, but it's the factor that if I'm investing that time that I don't have spare, if I'm giving you the luxury, or if I'm giving you and I both the privilege of being able to work together, all I expect back, is some common courtesy and some sort of actual, again, growth, or some sort of, I guess, two-way conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think if somebody donates, I do it a lot. I have a thing that I do for people. I play a game called Borderlands 1 Remastered to be specific, and people pay me for moddy guns in that game, and I still do it to this day. People still, they hit me up on PayPal and they say, hey, excuse me, I saw your video about moddy guns from a couple of years back, do you still give them away? I say, yes, I do. I say, listen, if you want it for free though, you're going to have to wait till I'm next streaming the game. If you join my Twitch stream, drop my Twitch a follow, when I'm next streaming it, you can get some guns for free, 100%. But they say, well, can I get it right now? I say, no. I say, my time, I've not got any time spare. I've not got the luxury of having spare time. If you want them right now, you'll have to pay for them right now. And that's, some might say, well, how's that? That's unfair. Because I'm having to make an exception. I'm having to take time out of my day and use that valuable time that I could be using working on content or other things to come and help you out, or come be a part of what you want me to be a part of. Which, it might be fun or it might not, I'm not too sure. But that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ellie?
Alright. Oh god, my thing went back there. Oh god, sorry.
It's all good. I don't want to seem like I want to just clarify why you're getting your stuff fixed there. I know it sounds pretty cruel, maybe a little bit cold or whatnot, but that's the truth of it. Honestly, to anybody listening to this and yourselves, the truth of it is, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to make sure that you are number one, that you put yourself before everybody else. It sounds selfish and it sounds cruel, but that's okay. You're allowed to sound selfish and sound cruel. I'm not saying don't care about people and don't have, empathy towards people. But if you want to succeed, you've got to understand that you have got to make sure that you succeed, and that you're okay, and that you're healthy, and you're happy, and you're mentally stable, and that you're financially stable. And then what you can do, and this is the phenomenal part about it, is once you've hit that level of success or where you need to be, you can pull those people that are lower than you up to your standard, up to your level. And that's the point. But for the time being, they're going to have to understand that's what it's about. That you have to make sacrifices. And they aren't always going to be happy about them. But that's what it's about. To get to where you want to get to achieve your dreams, to achieve your goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you jealous of any YouTubers that have less subscribers than you, but had a few videos that blew up hundreds of thousands or even millions of views? Dragon.
So that, jealousy is such an evil emotion. It's such a disgusting emotion. If there's any emotion that the human being feels that's truly disgusting, I think jealousy is the only one that can really compare to that. Yes, I have. I'll be upfront with you. Of course, yes. I've worked very hard for many years on YouTube since I was 10 years old, and I've never had a video reach 1 million views to this day. And that hurts. It does hurt. But I don't let it bug me. I don't let it stop me from being able to sleep. I don't lose sleep over it. When I see it happen, if it's a friend of mine like Dragon, or whether it be another friend like my friend Cairo, or whoever else for that matter, I'm proud of them. A part of me, of course, that disgusting low part of me, that part that everybody has inside of them, says, oh, that sucks. That's not fair. We should be getting that. How is it fair that they get it? We've been working for longer and harder. How do they get it? How do they get the break that we didn't get? We deserve it more than them. And it's horrible. But that's that evil and disgusting part of yourself that everybody has within them. But I say to myself, well, they were there at the right time, they got it, be happy for them, right? Especially if they're friends. If they're friends, it's even better, because you can be a part of their success with them. You can be proud of them, you can be there with them, and be happy for them. And there's no better feeling than having a friend that's been very successful and you being a part of that. I've had multiple, including Dragging, including Cairo, including Blue Room, great friends of mine that have all had videos that have popped off and done phenomenal for themselves and their channels. And I honestly, of course, like I've said already, a part of me, that disgusting part of me, that everybody has, it feels jealous, it feels like that, I deserve that. I wish I got that, but I didn't. And there's no point losing sleep about it, because there's nothing I can change about that. They got it, and that's them. They got it. Be happy for them. Be good for them. Good for them. We'll get our turn. Everybody gets their turn. It might take time, but it's worth it.
Wait, it's me. Would you ever become a Fortnite YouTuber?
That was my question.
No, it wasn't. That's the one. That's the one after. Are you jealous?
It's a good question. I don't really think so. Fortnite's not my cup of tea anymore. I played it about a year or two ago. I'd done a couple of streams on it. I was decent at the game. I could play it, but it was never really my, forte. It wasn't my cup of tea. I know other YouTubers do it, like Postbox Pat and whatnot. Great friends, good content creators, etc. And I'm happy for them, whatever. But it's not my kind of game. I would rather make content on a game that I actually enjoy as opposed to a game that I don't enjoy, even if I could be successful from it. For an example, for instance, games like Among Us, or even, I'm trying to think of better examples, Fall Guys, or again Fortnite when it first came out, because I was around when it first came out. Everybody said, make videos on it, Joe. Make content on that. You'll gain dozens of views. But the truth of it is, if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to want to make content on it, because people are going to be able to tell I don't enjoy it. And that's what's important. It's about making sure that I actually enjoy what I'm making.
Did you ever have a point in YouTube where you gained thousands of subscribers at a time?
Well, every month. Every month I gain over 1,000 subscribers. I've been gaining over 1,000 subscribers every month since I started my channel, almost. I'd say, so to speak. I've had months though that have been better than others. I've had months where I've gained 3,000 subs, or 4,000, or 2,000, or whatever. It's phenomenal. It's a great feeling. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what kind of music do you like?
A good question. I'm quite, and by the way, somebody's mic, I do apologise, but somebody's mic is currently crickling. Just saying. Be aware, if you have your phone or remote on charge or something like that nearby, it can affect it. Just word of the wise. But for me personally, I've said this quite a few times in my streams. I'm quite an enthusiast of rap. I enjoy rap music quite a lot. I grew up listening to Eminem, and I had all the CDs and posters, and I had all the CDs and all his posters and everything like that. I loved Eminem. I was a big fan of him. I even have this action figure, legitimately a little small one, on my shelf above me right now in front of me. But I love rap. I love a lot of rap, especially though, aside from rap though, although I enjoy it, as I grew older, into my late teens and whatnot, especially with YouTube, I more preferred lo-fi music, lo-fi, vaporwave kind of stuff. Mainly it's lo-fi music though. I enjoy chill music that might not always have lyrics. Some music does always have lyrics, but chill, relaxing music that isn't, some rock and roll, heavy metal. Although I do enjoy some rock and roll songs and heavy metal songs, I don't prefer them. Especially when I'm trying to edit a video or work on a script or anything like that. So yeah, I prefer, probably my two main genres that I prefer of music are lo-fi and rap, and yeah, those are my two, and jazz.
Mm-hmm. Good options, or good.
Thank you.
Good choices. So, would you create a realm for your subscribers with the new recent edition of Realms?
Do you mean, and I hope you don't mind me asking this, do you mean as in a public realm, or do you mean as in a private realm? Oh, okay. Well, I was, yeah, I was asking that because obviously,
December.
Sorry.
Think of yourself last December, yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously I have a public realm. It's not public, but it's for members of my channel that I allow them to join. It's my Atlas City world that I moved from Legacy to Bedrock, and then inevitably when I move back to Legacy, it's still in Bedrock as a realm, and people can join it via my Discord if they're members and whatnot. But I would, and I have wanted to make, and I even did for a couple of days, I made an Anarchy realm, which was a 10-player Anarchy realm, no rules, on an old world, which was a lot of fun. It was a very unique experience, but it was very limited, sadly. So we didn't manage to keep, following up with it and keep kind of continuing it. But I am still at this current point in time and this current stage of YouTube, I'm still considering making a very public realm that's entirely free to join, that players can join and have fun on. It's just more about finding, well, for one, the right time, for two, a unique and good idea that make it worthwhile to do, and three, exactly how I want to, I guess, follow up this idea and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you could hire a team, would you create a server called the Catmanjoe Universe? And by server, we mean kind of realm, or if you were playing on PC, or a server.
A good friend of mine, Zebrus, another great YouTuber, a guy with 6K subs, a lovely guy. Zebrus has servers on Java Edition, and if I was on Java, I've had friends of mine, a good friend of mine, Christina, and a few other people want to offer to make me realms, or not realms, excuse me, servers on Java Edition. I would make I don't know if I'd call it, or excuse me, a server. I don't know if I'd call it the Catmanjoe Universe, but you never know. Be an interesting idea. But I'd love to make a server inspired probably heavily by my friend Zebrus, and probably more of an economy server that's a lot more thought out, and that allows players to be able to sell their materials directly to a limited supply, be able to then players can purchase that supply and whatever stuff like that. You know, a proper economy like server, proper one like that, and that's be a lot of fun, I'm sure. But yeah, I would love to do that. Definitely, I think that's something I would love to pursue. Hopefully in the future, on my channel. But yeah, I'd love to. I'd definitely love to do that.
Why did you choose the name Catmanjoe?
It's a bit of an odd story, this. So, in a nutshell, with my name, it's kind of hard to really explain because I don't honestly all right fully know my actual name origin. From what I can recall from when I was younger, the name started getting used, to be specific. The name Catmanjoe first came into use on YouTube, and for me to use it online on Xbox 360. I started using it in 2012, Catmanjoe 2012. The account's still, I believe, there. If you searched it on Xbox, someone could. I don't know if they'd still find it, but probably would. But Catmanjoe 2012, and that was my original Xbox account when I was 12 years old, and that's when I started using that name. But the name really originated from when I was in my nursery, when I was in primary school and nursery, because my nickname was Jojo, an acronym for my first and second name, Joseph and John, Jojo, so Jojo. And then I think Batman kind of came into it, and then people knew that I loved cats, and I think it just became a thing where Catman and Joe, it kind of all worked, and like Cotton Eye Joe, but it wasn't the song that inspired it. And it was actually kids, I believe, when I was in nursery, young kids, friends of mine, obviously, when I'd be very young, very little, that kind of came up with the name Catmanjoe, and it just kind of stuck with me mentally for a good few years. And then when I was older, 11, 12 years old, that's when I kind of fully started using the name.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Okay, so is it hard working on YouTube videos, editing, recording, publishing, all that good stuff?
It sure as hell isn't easy. It's difficult, yeah. It's very difficult. I love the editing. I love doing that, and I love working on videos. But I think the hardest part is actually thinking of new creative ideas for videos. But luckily and thankfully, I'm a very creative young man. For me though, yeah, it is quite difficult. I'm very limited to my technical abilities and what I can do editing wise. For anybody who doesn't already know, I record, edit, and stream all from my PlayStation 4 internally. With the PlayStation 4's built-in capture card recording DVLR equipment. So I actually edit all my videos on Share Factory, every one of them, my documentaries that are 3 hours long, my shorter documentaries, my longer videos, my Let's Plays from the past, my tutorials, all of that. The audio is all recorded on PlayStation, then I use Share Factory once it's recorded on PlayStation as well, to then edit it all there. And I still use it to this very day right now. And it is very difficult. My audio and everything like that is very hard to work with, especially on Share Factory, because of limited technical abilities, and it's just not an easy feat to do. So yeah, it's very difficult to do, very challenging, time consuming.
Can I just take a moment here just to reset the clip, because I don't want the clip to just end during.
That's alright. That's alright.
Yeah. Okay, we are back. All right. So, next question. So, there is a reoccurring name among your channel who goes by the name Human Ducky. May you elaborate on why this person is such a popular name on your channel?
Not really. I don't really think there's much to be said about it. No, I'd rather not elaborate.
Okay.
How would you meet Curious Hippo?
I met Joseph via a mutual friend of mine, and his called Kiwi Gamer, and I met Kiwi via another mutual friend of his Kiwis and I called Firefly, a young kid actually at the point in time on Xbox 360 who used to play Minecraft in my worlds. But I met Joseph back when I was very young, I think about 15 or 14. and we met via a good friend, I said Kiwi Gamer, and we met via Minecraft though mainly. Kiwi was introduced to me via my friend Firefly, and Firefly I met from years ago in Minecraft, but Firefly introduced me to Kiwi, and then Kiwi introduced me to Curious, and that's how we met.
Mm-hmm. Right, sorry, it's my question. If there was one thing that you wanted for Christmas, what would it be?
World peace. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not too sure. Generally speaking, if anything, I'd probably say I top of the rig gaming PC. Probably like my go-to kind of idea. That or $1 million. I'll probably see the million. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even $1 billion. Who knows? If we're talking anything, but I'd say if it was been a sensible kind of thing, or not sensible, but an expensive but relatively realistic thing, I'd say a PC, a gaming PC. But I don't get no Christmas presents, so yeah, it ain't coming for me. Santa, don't go down my chimney.
All right.
You don't come down your chimney and look at you whilst you're sleeping.
I hope not.
Okay, never mind then. A very common question among people is, why do you think to actually start YouTube?
Why do I think? Excuse me. Sorry, you're very quiet.
Why did you think to start YouTube?
I'm sorry, I don't. I do apologize. I'm getting some Vietnam flashbacks to a gentleman I used to know who had a stutter, and he well, not stutter. He didn't have a stutter. He had a speech impediment. Not going to say his name, but he I used to have to ask him, what would you say, multiple times, and very rude. I do apologize. Sorry.
So, a very common question among people is, why do you think to start your channel? Like, there's hundreds of possibilities, and you chose one or two or three or hundreds.
I don't really understand the question. I know what you're saying. I apologize. No, I do. No, I do. No. It's not that I don't hear what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're asking. Are you asking why I started a channel?
Yeah, why did you start YouTube?
Why did you start? Chanel. I'm a big fan of Chanel. I started Chanel because I love the smell. It was a beautiful aftershave, and Chanel number 5 was one of my favorites personally. So I'm a huge fan of it, and I personally just loved it a lot. I think there's no better fragrant than Chanel. But no, I started my channel. I can English, don't worry. I thank you. You're saying, but yeah, I started my channel. I kind of already answered this question already, but I started my channel because I enjoyed entertaining people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the same question. It's the last one. It's the last. Yeah. It's been 3 times now. You haven't seen the same question. Good darn.
Well, I mean, it's the same question, just with different words, really.
Well, it's the same question. Yeah, it's just rebranded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you do? Right. So imagine this: a giant meteor, 3 times the size of the one that's extinct, made the dinosaurs go extinct. Right. It's coming towards Earth again. Right. It hits Earth in the next 24 hours. It's your last day on Earth. What are you gonna do?
Play Fortnite. I know. I know. Spend it with family. What the fuck? What kind of question is that? That's a fucking silly question. What are you gonna do? What do you expect? Excuse me, my apology. What do you expect me to say to that bloody question? I'm gonna spend it looting stores like an idiot because I'm gonna protect myself with an umbrella that's out of gap. It's a bit of a silly question. You know what I'm saying? What am I meant to say to that? I'm gonna go to McDonald's and this time I'm gonna ask for a double cheeseburger. What?
So, you wouldn't rail anybody.
I wouldn't what?
Anybody.
Rail anybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to let you down. I'm sorry to let you down. I'm straight, and no. Listen, if it was the last day on Earth, I still wouldn't fly that way, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to let you down. Sorry, G.
We're on our last 3 questions. Finally.
Fantastic. We're over the hour limit that I gave you, so you better be quick.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's my question, right?
No, it's my question.
It's mine.
You said your question.
No,
Joe,
no.
He asked the last day on Earth.
The real question is, why are you whispering?
Oh wait, no, yeah.
Are you getting hung to? Are you under a bed or something right now? Is there somebody breaking into your house? If there's a criminal, blink twice. I heard that. Yeah, phone the police.
Okay, so where do you get your motivation to construct videos?
Methamphetamine.
I didn't even finish it.
Methamphetamine. Yeah, that's the truth. Methamphetamine.
So last time you say ecstasy and now it's methamphetamine, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you think to make a podcast channel?
Methamphetamine.
And like when you were high on it, you would think to do it.
Exactly. That's my man's got some common thinking right here. Why did you think to make a podcast channel?
Because I was on your podcast.
I knew that. A little bastard. Can't see shit without one, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made a podcast because I already had a podcast years ago with Joseph for Curious Apple called Forgotten Podcast, but we inevitably it ended because I lost access to that old channel. My channel got terminated, and we didn't get to do it again. So that was the reasoning behind it. So I wanted to start a new podcast to bring it back for almost like season 2. And add a lot of a lot more unique ideas and better ideas, and add a lot more opportunities to bring new guests on the show. So yeah, that's why I started up. I didn't see it and go, oh, I want that. I like what he does there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I like that. Let me just whoop.
Right.
Dragon.
We're both gonna say this one together. It is the last question. Okay, 3,
Methamphetamine.
2, 1. Did you enjoy
your
yourself?
file?
I'm a paedophile? What?
Did you enjoy yourself?
What, the paedophile? No, I'm not. What the fuck? What kind of question is that? That's a horrible way to end off a great episode.
Did you enjoy yourself?
That's what I'm saying. I don't fly that way. Like, what can what are you not getting from this conversation? Yeah, that's awfully sus. Yeah, well, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest with you. I expected some more really creative questions. I'm not saying these questions were very downplayed, but I got asked the same question 3 times reworded. Additionally, as well, everybody was playing around. Everybody's shooting each other. It's firing bullets at each other. And this is our second time I'm recording this. Dragon hasn't mentioned this for this episode, but we actually recorded this podcast episode, and that typing on that bloody keyboard, it makes me want to make you chew the keys. But for real, Dragon and I, we both already recorded this episode on GTA 5, and he asked me if I could spare some time. I done it, and the idiot never checked to see if there was any recording going on. It took him a month, and then he eventually noticed. I went, "Oh dear, I didn't save the, there was no voices getting shared." I was like, "Oh great." So he had to hit me up and ask me. It took you a month.
It was literally the next day.
It wasn't. It was a month to me. You should have checked it that night. Wow, should have checked it that night.
Okay. Let's just steal a page from your book. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Okay, what are they?
Methamphetamine.
Yes.
My question to you both, and obviously Rolly, if Rolly was here, would be, what is your plans for this podcast?
To interview people.
No, I'm joking. Ignore school.
Ignore school. Good man. Well, I think that's me. That's all my questions.
Okay. So, yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode of the Planet Podcast. It was very messy. We did have a few mess ups in the start, but we did get a bit better at it. So yeah, would you like to promote yourself, shout yourself out, say anything like that, Joe?
Yeah. This bloody mic right now, man. I'm telling you, bud. That electrocution noise. You know what I'm saying, bud. That is some you gotta fix that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to hear a bloody Nokia vibrator, you know what I'm saying, going off every 5 seconds.
Whoa.
The vibration, alright, shut up. But yeah.
Okay.
I know, check out my channel. If somehow you're watching this and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I don't know who you are. I don't know, for real, check my channel, Catmanjoe. I'm on the road right now to 50,000 subscribers. At 12.5 million views, which is just a phenomenal number. And I'm growing a fantastic community. I'm working with awesome people, including Dragon. So yeah, thank you all so much for having me on the show. And also check my podcast, TFB. I host it with 3 other YouTubers, or 2 other YouTubers, excuse me, Curious Apple and obviously Septic Spud. It's a great podcast. Thanks.
Well, yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks for you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoy, please drop a like, drop a sub. I appreciate it a lot. Well, we all appreciate it a lot. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in episode 2. Bye!